Hi.
So, since Halloween is your favorite holiday, what's your fondest Halloween memory? And if you could redo it over again, how would you do that?
Good question. I know this one now because I've answered this one a few times this week. So in sixth grade, I'd always throw a Halloween party. So this year I decided I'm going to reenact my favorite movie, Clue. Which if you haven't seen Clue, go home and watch it tonight. It is amazing. It's perfect to start the Halloween season. It's not a Halloween movie, but to me it is. So I sent out invitations like the movie to my friends. Everyone came in character, and we reenacted the whole movie at my house as the Halloween party. And it was one of my favorite things I've ever done. And I would do that again in a heartbeat. And I'm glad you asked that because I think I am going to plan a Clue party. Because I think we would take it a little more seriously this time. It was hard to get 12-year-olds to finish filming a movie. And that's probably what inspired me to go into the film industry. But yeah, I think that would be really fun to recreate at this age.
Hi, Lance. What was the part of the book that you was the most difficult for you, that you kept looking and you're like, man, I don't know if this part is really where I want it to be, and when did you finally get there?
Yeah.
You were like, this is it.
Yeah, look, there's obviously a bigger story to this, world, but with a children's book, it's got to be short and sweet. So it was really kind of cutting out some of those storylines that I had. That we just had, no, we got to get to the next, we got to get to the next. So that was hard trying to edit myself, and also some of the words that I used were, more adult. And so I'm like, do I cut the word draconian? Because but it's Dracula. Come on. So I'm like, no, that could be a good teaching moment, because especially my daughter, she hears a big word, she knows it immediately, and she repeats it over and over. I'm like, okay, if she can do it as a 2-year-old, anyone can learn what draconian is. So I decided to keep those words in because I thought it could be a fun way for a kid, maybe when they're older, like, you know what, I learned that word when I was 3 years old from Trick or Treat on Scary Street. Just trying to educate children, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
But they want to know what's your favorite horror movie or favorite Christmas tradition?
Okay, horror movie. Halloween is definitely, it's one of the ultimate, but I will always go to Nightmare on Elm Street because that was my first real horror film to watch as a little kid. I couldn't believe my parents would let me watch it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to let me watch a horror film. And then I did sneak Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there, which my parents would not let me watch, but my neighbors did. And I did watch it kind of like this, because I'm like, I'm not supposed to watch this. My parents told me I'm not supposed to watch it. So yeah, I would say Nightmare on Elm Street, ultimate classic for me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. And Insidious, though, series is just like, for modern, Insidious, holy moly. Oh, and favorite Christmas tradition? I love getting the family in the car and going to look at all the rich people's homes. Go through Bel Air, that's over the top. And that's what we did as kids in Mississippi too. Go to the rich neighborhoods and look at all the decorations. Hi, everybody. Hello, Scary. Okay.
I don't think you can hear me with this, but I know you just answered what your favorite horror movie is, but if you could be any slasher, aside from Freddy Krueger, who would it be? Don't let my choice influence you.
And Ghostface is great because he's also has humor, right? I would say, oh my gosh. Well, the one that is the creepiest to me is Candyman. That I would just love to be him because it's just the way he appears, and it's just cool. The bees and all that. That's the creepiest. But I think definitely Ghostface would have the most fun. So I think if I were to choose, let's be because somehow he always just gets away with it. But it has a lot of fun. Yeah. And then you have like Mike Myers and Jason who just kind of like walk, and somehow they catch up to you. They always get you. Yeah.
How did you find the illustrator for this book?
It was through my publisher. They presented me with, again, this is my first children's book, so I'm like, I have no idea when you're doing a picture book, who draws things? My husband was my first thought, because he's a wonderful artist, but he'd never done anything like this. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to put that pressure on you because he gets a lot of anxiety. He's like, no. So this was an immediate yes for me. I think they presented probably 10 illustrators for me, and this was the first one that stood out, and it's the one that lasted. I just kept coming back to it, like, yes, yes, yes. This is the vibe I want.
Hi, Lance. So, I know you said that Reese's peanut butter cups, specifically the shaped ones, the pumpkins, are by far superior, and I agree. But if you had to pick a Halloween candy that best represented your personality, which one would it be and why?
Whatchamacallit. Yeah, whatchamacallit, which by the way is one of my favorite candy bars. But yeah, I think that kind of describes me because I'm a little bit of everything. I don't know what I am. I'm just a whatchamacallit. Yeah. So it's just, it's a very misunderstood candy bar. It is.
We have a question over here.
What's your favorite Disney ride?
Disney ride. Oh my goodness. Okay, Disney ride. Well, it's new. I mean, back in the day, of course, Space Mountain, because I love space. They redid it, and it's beautiful. But an even better Space Mountain, is the new ride at Epcot, Guardians of the Galaxy. Holy, that is a beautiful ride. It's a comfortable ride. It's just, I will ride it over and over again because I think it is the most gorgeous ride I've ever been on.
I have an instant question, but it's not the question you think it is.
Okay.
What is your favorite less than popular NSYNC song, and why isn't it real?
Let's turn it up. Oh my God, that's when we were working a little techno music back in those days. We were a German band, we didn't know better. Oh my gosh, I Need Love, Riddle, I mean, oof, oh my gosh. But I mean, my favorite is, It Makes Me Ill. I think that was such an underrated song. It was my favorite. I wanted it to be a release, but the record label had other ideas. I love that Candy Burris wrote it. And I thought that was kind of the direction that our sound was going. It was just fun. Makes me ill, make me feel yeah. You can imagine how it makes me feel. See you with him. And it was fun on tour. We actually got to do it, and it was just a fun one to do. I mean, we were really silly with that one.
Hi. Other than your house, what would you say is your favorite or the scariest haunted house that you've been to?
Ooh, my favorite or scariest haunted house. Downtown LA is where they did the what's the Ryan Murphy show? The Horror Story, the American Horror Story house. I don't know the actual name of it, but it is this beautiful mansion that is so creepy. They even have a gate around it because so many people try to get into the house. No one lives there right now, but some friends of mine do a show there called The Willows. And if you happen to go to LA and you get to catch this show, it is incredible. It's an immersive kind of theater play. And it's just like 20 of you, but it's a creepy, scary, you're immersed into this world and you're running all over the house. I mean, you're running all this, you don't know who's an actor and who's not. It is so scary, but it feels real authentic. And so this house really pulls that whole story together. And it's just beautiful. I would live there in a heartbeat.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Okay.